the garden guide. Okay, hear me out. I know this is gonna be one of those tasks that might seem a little hard, it might seem a little impossible, but we're gonna go ahead and do this together as much as possible so it's a little bit more easier for you guys. Now, unironically, I actually printed out the entire achievements for everything here. I have literally 18 pages worth of this entire book because I couldn't go through the menu all the time and keep track of everything. So I have common achievements, uncommon achievements, so on and so forth, all sorted out for me to go through manually in paper. Why? Because I'm old, okay? I can't do this technology stuff, okay? I just can't. I have to have it on paper. It makes this so much more easier for me. Is there a right way for you to actually do this? Well, let's go ahead and talk about it. So based on the achievements that we have here, you have to do all of the quests. Regardless of what everybody says that this might be really easy to do, it is, but to a certain extent. This is extremely time consuming, so be ready for this and probably either one, have an alt ready or a friend who's ready to dedicate their time to help you with this. So let's go ahead and take a look at the common achievements. You have to shovel 100 plants. Now, the common misconception about this one is you're able to go ahead and use carrots. This is not the case. You cannot use carrots to go ahead and destroy the plant with. Alright, so we have the little carrot over here grown. You cannot shovel a carrot. So make sure when you do this, do not waste a ton of carrots for this. What I did end up doing was just kind of farming a ton of strawberries, blueberries, and tomatoes. You do need the orange tulips, so this is another part of the quest system that you have to make sure you pay attention to because this is a part of it. Let's go ahead and feed our carrot to the spaghetti sloth. So the shovel, do not use carrots, but you can harvest those carrots just in case if you end up doing so. And I'm pretty sure if you guys already have this, you guys can just plant it and walk away for like 30 seconds and then you can harvest them. Then you have to gift a carrot to somebody. If anything, what I would highly recommend everybody do is at least create one farm plot that has absolutely nothing on it. This is going to be for your achievements and stuff. Based on what I actually printed out, it looks like a lot of the stuff that you're going to be harvesting, whether it be carrots, tulips, tomatoes, strawberries, blueberries, corn, they're all going to be used all the way up until the rare section. So make sure you guys end up getting enough for you to go ahead and harvest, destroy, and mutate. At some point, you're going to need absolutely everything as humanly possible for this section here. And this is just going to be for the rare achievements. So you're going to be doing this for the common, uncommon, and rare. Once you reach the legendary, you're going to be doing bamboo. Then you're moving over to apples, pumpkins, watermelons, mythical. You're going to be moving over to mangoes, coconuts, cactuses, cacti, which are two of the same thing, but the fruits and the plant itself are two different things. Dragon fruit and mutations. You pretty much get the point when you're going into the different variations of the achievements itself, so make sure you guys pay attention to everything when you're looking at all of this. So this helps me keep track of everything that I need to keep track of, if anything. But the prismatics. Yes, this one's going to be a little difficult for those that are not able to AFK grind the shops. Tiny tasks can be set up to go ahead and just automatically buy everything inside of the shop as needed. And for those that are not able to do that, there are Discord servers that Grow Garden has select roles for to get pinged and notified so you can go into the game and buy those said items. Technically, for one and singular seed, such as the Romosecco, the Elder Strawberry, the Sugar Apple, Ember Lilies, Beanstalks, you could do this little trick. Get Reclaimers. These are not hard to get at all. All you have to do is end up crafting them inside of the crafting table section. All you need is a common egg, a harvester tool, and some shekels. You can make 3 at a time for this, and you can save them up, and whenever you're ready, plant down the thing that you need to go ahead and plant down. You need to do this for the Sugar Apple, the Romosecco, and it seems like that's pretty much it. But just in case, if anything, if you don't want to go ahead and wait for anything to go ahead and respawn into the shops, you could just go ahead and reclaim, get the seed back, and replant it again. For the other items, make sure you take a look inside of your actual little guide and make sure you mark down what you need to buy multiple seeds of, because I'm pretty sure it's going to take a while to get 1,000 sugar apples, 100 ember lilies, 300 beanstalks, on top of getting 100 silver beanstalks. And should you ever need anything that's silver, guess what you could actually use? Silver fertilizer. This will help you out so much without even realizing it. This is obtainable during the event in the side of the beanstalk. Just make sure when you actually go up there that you're able to go ahead and afford the refresh if you're able to get this. I am saving as many as I can get right now so I can go ahead and apply it to the crops that I need to apply this to. This is just going to make the process so much more easier and faster. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about some pets that it can go ahead and help you out. We're not going to be talking about the rarest pets that you can get inside of the game currently because it has to be realistic for the time being. Alright, so let's take everything out real quick. If you're going to be harvesting a ton of crops, you want to speed up the process. I know yesterday I went through a lot of these pets and stuff, and we have to make sure that we get pets that can progressively speed up the whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and throw out the flamingos for this. And there are other pets inside of the game other than speed boosters that can go ahead and duplicate harvested fruit, which is a really big benefit. I have this giant red ant that I kind of forgot that I had, so we're going to go ahead and have him roam around. And because I don't really have anything else to go ahead and put inside of the garden, I'm just going to have the mimic octopus just go ahead and roam around. So now that we have everything pretty much set up, I have technically 4 sections here that I can take advantage of because technically this is my experimental garden. Except for these giant Romosecos that I kind of forgot about that I did a video on, which you guys should probably check out because I got bamboozled by some of these things that just happened in that video. So we have to sell 500 strawberries. Let's go ahead and see how many strawberries that I end up having. I think I collected a lot of these, to be honest. Yeah, I think I have too many actually. I have 1,644 strawberries. So I only need to technically get 500 strawberries to sell. And if I really want to complete the rest of the achievements inside of the thingy, I can go ahead and destroy them. Which, to be honest, shouldn't they be that big of a deal because it's just strawberries. But I technically AFK'd this day and night within a span daily. I would say maybe around 10 hours to 12 hours a day for 3 days straight, and I ended up getting all these seeds, which might be the huge benefit if you have tiny tasks just kind of going into the shop and buying stuff for you. Alright, so I think this is going to be enough time for me to go ahead and pull out the sprinklers. You do not need to use any crazy sprinklers for this. This is just kind of going ahead and progressing the growth and speed of this on top of the pets. Just like that, you end up finishing the comment section. Now, the really nice thing is once you finish this out, you get common seed packs and you get a cooking kit. This cooking kit is going to take you places. We're going to go ahead and place this somewhere realistic, which will be right here. Let's go ahead and turn it and move it right there. This is what you need in order to make the new pet pouch. How do you make the new pet pouch? Let's go ahead and find out. So we're going to go ahead and go to the little crafting table over here, and you're going to see all the stuff that you need in order to make it. You need a common egg, a corn dog, a small treat, a small toy, and some shekels. But how do you make a corn dog? Let's go ahead and find out. Okay, I had to switch over to my other garden because I didn't have corn on my other garden, but we have a pepper, a giant pine cone, and a corn. And now we have to wait 7 minutes. While we're waiting the 7 minutes, let's go ahead and take a look at everything that we can go ahead and take advantage of. So now that we're done with the comment section, now we can take a look at all of the stuff inside of the uncommon area. So now I can go ahead and mark down on my piece of paper for this entire booklet that I made for the garden guide is done. So we scribbled that out, and now we're moving to the uncommon achievements. Now let's go ahead and read this. Shovel 300 plants. Harvest 250 mutated crops. Harvest 150 silver or golden or rainbow crops. Harvest 1,000 blueberries. Harvest 300 mutated blueberries. Use 100 blueberries in cooking. Feed 150 blueberries to pets. Plant 200 200 tulips. And finally, my least favorite one, gift 100 orange tulips. So this is where friends would come in handy if you can't have friends play with you and gift all of these things to get an alt account. Get it ready. And then once you're done with this one, then you're done with the uncommon one. Now, remember all of those strawberries that we ended up planting? Well, technically we could go ahead and shovel those. Or what you guys can do is let them get mutated. But now is a really good time to go ahead and take advantage, if you haven't done so already, to buy a ton of blueberries because it seems like you're gonna need a lot of them. And of course, the 200 orange tulips. Thankfully, when the restock happens, a great amount on abundant comes into stock, so you guys don't have to worry about this too much. But just in case, I like to go in here and just buy everything I need, just in case if I do plan on planting a ton of these and shoveling them, because the more you progress, the more it's going to tell you that you have to harvest certain things, such as once you reach the rare achievements, it's going to want you to harvest 500 mutated crops, or 200 wet crops, 500 corn. So you guys got to make sure that you're constantly buying things as you go, because it's going to get really, really crazy with the amount of things that you have to harvest or plant. Okay, it looks like the thing is finally done cooking. So now we have a corn dog. So now let's go ahead and take that over to the section that we need to put this into, and let's get going. All right, so we need to submit a corn dog, a common egg, a small treat, and a small pet toy. Now we can go ahead and create it. Now we have to wait 30 minutes. Holy cow. Okay, but now it's safe to say we can go ahead and switch our garden out. Okay, so I switched my garden over now, and we planted a ton of blueberries. Why? Again, we need a lot of these in order to go ahead and harvest and use in certain things. So we have to harvest 1,000 blueberries, which shouldn't be too difficult to do. This will account for the 250 and the 150 crops. And on top of it, if it's mutated for blueberries, that's a bonus. We need to use 100 blueberries in cooking and then feed 150 to pets. This should knock out all of these right here just with the blueberries or even the strawberries that you left alone. But now it's the tulip time. This one is actually really easy to do. It's just, again, it's going to be extremely time consuming, especially if you're going to be playing by yourself. You have to plant 200 of these, which I already did, but afterwards you have to gift half of that to someone or to an alt account for it to count. Now, what me and Elk found out and what we both were doing was we needed 2 tulips to do this. We kept gifting each other back and forth the same tulip. Doesn't have to necessarily be all 100 of them. It could just be 2 of them that you guys are switching back and forth. That way your inventory isn't taking up too much space and it feels like it's not working. This is extremely time consuming, so be ready. Okay, so now it's safe for me to actually go ahead and pick up some of the pets that I don't necessarily need at the very moment. So I'm going to go ahead and remove 3 pets that can go ahead and speed up the crop process. Afterwards, I'm going to go ahead and replace them with stuff that can go ahead and mutate rather quickly. Alright, so I threw the 3 Tanchuzurus in here so they can go ahead and start mutating. Of course, you can use anything that has a lower cooldown when it comes to this, whichever pets that you mostly have. I just choose to use these because I like them. Alright, so now we can go ahead and harvest all the stuff that we can need to harvest for these. We need 1,000 blueberries. So at the very bottom, you're seeing all of the counters accounting for everything that's working right now. So look at how many I'm already collecting based on what I just planted here. Okay, and then I have to feed 150 blueberries to my pets, which again, it's going to be a little time consuming. That's the only downside for all of this. We're just going to go ahead and feed the Tanjusuru all of this. The good news is this didn't take as long as I thought it would. So feeding the 150 blueberries, it probably took maybe, if not, 5 minutes to do. We completed out the 1,000 blueberries, so now I can mark that off. And same thing goes with 150. Now for the blueberries in cooking, all I've been doing is actually sticking 5 blueberries inside of the cooking pot, and each time it takes about 8 minutes or so. So you need to do this 20 times within that time span. So this should probably take you, if not maybe half the day to actually do, if that actually. Say half the day because I don't feel like doing the math. It should probably take you like 2 hours, 3 hours to do. So we have the first thing here, which is a rare blueberry smoothie. I just fed it to my flamingo because I have nothing else to use these for. Alright, so you're just gonna repeat this process over and over and over again, actually. Alright, so we have 5 blueberries in here, and we're just gonna go ahead and hit the cook button. Sometimes it won't let you hit the button, so you might have to move it and then actually just hit the button. I'm not sure if it's like a bug or something, but all you have to do is just move it. And yeah, so it's gonna take 8 minutes each time, so nothing super duper crazy. This is something that you can work on the side while you're just shoveling some stuff. Just make sure you check it every once in a while and you'll be able to redo this process again. But since we are here, technically we don't need strawberries anymore, so we're gonna have to destroy all of them. All right, say bye strawberries, bye strawberries. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna harvest them just in case, because technically we do need these for like other things. It'll still count for the mutations for everything else as we're going, so we're just gonna go ahead and do that. And then we'll destroy them. All right, I harvested as much as I could before I just got tired of doing it. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and break everything now. All right, all the strawberries are officially gone. So let's go ahead and see how many shovel thingies that we have left. We have to do about, I want to say a little less than 120 or so. And then we're done with the shoveling portion of this. And of course, the dreaded 100 tulips. This is the entirety of your garden guide, with maybe perhaps a few of them having a little bit different rarity on them, being the mythical, divine, and the prismatic. But pretty much you're going to be repeating the entire process of this just in different sections. It's all going to be the same at the very end of the day. To be honest, I would definitely do these in sections rather than progressively and sporadically doing all of this all over the place. That way it's easier to keep track of. Of course, if you have things such as the Roma Secco already on your garden and everything else that's just kind of mismatched placed in certain areas, that's absolutely fine. There's no wrong or right way of doing this. This just requires a lot of dedication and time in doing certain things within your farm. And of course, should you ever need to actually wait for certain mutations to happen, wait until the weekend. Obviously, we have disco events that I noticed that end up mutating some of my crops, which ended up giving me this right here, which was amazing. This one's probably going to be the most difficult one, even for myself, just mostly because I don't pay attention to most of the stuff that I end up harvesting. So this is why Tiny Task is super duper important if you are a PC player. For those that might not be PC, I would highly recommend that you guys pay attention to the Discord servers that Grow Garden has, because there are sections that you can go ahead and highlight so you can get pinged for certain seeds that are currently in stock. I ended up getting 5 of these just by being AFK, 2 of them being Pinecone, and ironically, they actually released like 10 of these at a time randomly throughout the day, so I ended up getting 10 of these. So I have a 16 total amount of beanstalk seeds. So yeah, make sure you guys pay attention to the game whenever you're able to. A lot of random events have been happening because I'm assuming this weekend Grow Garden is going up against Steal a Brain Rot. So I'm expecting so many opportunities for things to be restocked and events to randomly happen throughout the game. So take advantage of everything as possible before this weekend hits. And obviously get ready. Are the beans gonna win? Or is Tung Tung Sahur gonna win? And just a quick reminder too, just in case if you end up getting the pep pouch, you're gonna have to make this 50 times. 50 times. Because it is a one-time use and you get 1+ inventory space. So again, time consuming, get ready, just prepare yourselves for all the supplies that you need and take things one thing at a time. I'm pretty sure I'll complete this once I'm ready, and hopefully you guys get some really good luck when it comes to all of this. Until then, I will see you guys all in the next video. Okay, bye!